Yo, what's up? It's your boy Serrano, and I've been using the Z Fold5 for about 2 weeks. And if I had to summarize this device in one word, the one word that I would use to describe the Z Fold5 is extremely flexible. Now, the reason why I say that the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold5 is extremely flexible is because it comes with two different configurations of displays. It's going to offer you a cover display, which is a bit smaller at 6.2 inches. And then you're also going to get the Infinity Flex display at 7.6 inches. And these two configurations give you a completely different user experience. And so I really enjoy using the device when I'm using the main display, which is the 7.6 dynamic AMOLED Infinity Flex display. It's going to give you a resolution of 2208 x 1768 pixels with a 120 Hz refresh rate. And the cover display is going to give you a 6.2 inch AMOLED display with 2268 x 832 pixels. And it's going to have a 120 Hz refresh rate as well. And so a lot of the times I'll be using the inner display to take notes, sketch, and use the S Pen with. And I just really enjoy the fact that this device has an S Pen pack. And so you can buy it separately as a accessory, so you can actually get a lot of things done, especially if you're the type of person who likes to take notes, draw, sketch, or even write words with the pen. And so it just has a really nice usage overall on a daily basis. I've been using it, and I've really enjoyed both displays almost equally, and so it's very satisfying when it comes to using it. The unboxing of the Z Fold5 is pretty ordinary when it comes to the unboxing experience, because you're not going to be getting the fast charging brick in here. You're only going to get the Type C to Type C cable, and you're going to get your SIM remover tool as well as the quick start guide. And so my battery that I get as far as on a daily basis is pretty good. I've been getting about 6 to 7 hours SOT or screen on time. And I really like using this device when it comes to the cover display, when it comes to navigating GPS, when I'm driving in the car and I want to hold the phone in one hand while doing something else. And I know you're not supposed to text and drive, right? So I will put it on a mount, and that gives me the ability to use the cover display while I'm doing GPS. And it's a really nice display to look at. It gets very bright. And as far as the nits, it's going to give you 1750, which is really nice for outdoors, especially in broad day when you're looking at it in direct sunlight. I really enjoy the new hinge that they offered. It's a lot stronger. It feels more sturdy. It has a really good resistance when it comes to folding it, and it doesn't feel like it's going to bend or fold while I'm like gaming or anything. So it's definitely stronger than the Z Fold 3 that I was using as my daily driver. And I definitely found a lot of improvements, especially when it comes to the hinge closing flat, which is definitely going to be an upgrade from the Z Fold 3 and Z Fold 4. When listening to music on this device, it's very immersive. It gives you the latest Bluetooth software 5.3. It also gives you Dolby Atmos with stereo surround sound. And so when it comes to the audio that comes out of this device, when you're taking phone calls or listening to music, the speakers get very loud and they almost sound like a Bluetooth speaker when you're listening to the music. And so when it comes to like getting notifications or hearing an alarm clock in the morning time, I don't ever miss any of my notifications or anything like that, because the device just gets very loud when it comes to alerting me. Now, Samsung also does give you some additional colors that are exclusive to their website, and this is one of them, which is the gray and the blue, but this is the gray color. And so as far as the build materials, it's very nice when it comes to the overall design. It's got a metal finish on the sides, and on the back, it's got a matte powder texture to it. And the main star of the show is the cameras as well, because it's going to give you all the features that you actually need. You get a main 50 megapixel shooter. You're also going to get a 12 megapixel telephoto camera that records in 3 times optical zoom. It gives you 4K 60 as well as 8K And so I definitely like the amount of cameras that they put on here. When it comes to using this, you're going to get also a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, which records in 4K 60 on the front and rear. And so I definitely like the 10 megapixel on the cover display, but on the inner camera, it's going to be a 4 megapixel camera, which is not going to give you the best quality. But when I was taking video and pictures while using this device, I had very few complaints. And this is the wide angle 12 megapixel camera, which is going to be good for capturing 120-degree angle. So the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold5 is not the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold4 when it comes to the cameras. They're actually improved, they're upgraded, they're higher quality, they have a better zoom, they have a better color science. There is more contrast when it comes to the video and the pictures. The dynamic range is better. And so there's more detail as well when it comes to comparing these cameras to the Z Fold 3. And I'll make sure I leave a little thumbnail on the right top corner so you can see the difference in the video I did, so you can see the difference. But this is actually an upgraded phone when it comes to the camera set, also the build quality and the chipset. So this isn't the same phone as the Z Fold 3 or the Z Fold 4. It's upgraded when it comes to the build quality. It's upgraded when it comes to the cameras, and it's also upgraded when it comes to the processing of the chipset. It's also got Bluetooth 5.3, which is upgraded, giving you better audio and better connection. It's also got 8K recording, which is another upgrade from the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Z Fold 3. And so it's not the same device as the previous generation. It's got some updates to it. And so I can definitely see the difference when I'm using this compared to my Z Fold 3. And as much as I like my Z Fold 3, this device does have a better camera setup, a better design when it comes to the flat hinge, and a nicer panel when it comes to outdoor visibility. And it's also just got a really premium feel in the hand, and the new colors are actually pretty cool. But do me a quick solid. If you're still here, just type down in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help boost the engagement, okay? And so the reason I say this device is flexible is because you can actually hold a cup of coffee while you're using the cover display, or you can open it up and use it with two hands and actually get more things done with the inner display. And so it's going to be a lighter weight than the last year's model of the 4 and the 3. And so it's going to, be more optimized. The heat dissipation is definitely going to be better. It's got better thermals, so it can actually release a little bit more heat than before and make it a lot cooler when you're actually doing things like gaming or multitasking or just using the display for long periods of time. And you won't notice the device getting hot when you're actually holding it. And so it's got that, Snapdragon Gen 2, which is definitely going to be pretty solid, which is the latest processing chip from Samsung. And, they made some minor improvements to this device that give it a more, future-proof when it comes to some of the things that it's going to offer, like the 8K for recording. And so when you're taking pictures on here, the photos are going to have better contrast, more detail, more light. And so it's there's going to be some minor changes that actually help out with the user experience with the camera. And I can honestly say that this camera, it will compete with most phones that you put it up to side by side, especially when it comes to getting detail when you're zooming in from far away distances. One of my favorite things about this device is that all the features that it's going to pack inside the camera, you'll never get bored when it comes to using it because it has so many different features and different modes that you can use with the camera. The hinge feels a lot more sturdy than the prior model, so it doesn't fold as easy. It's got a really even distribution when it comes to the hinge, giving it more of a premium feel and design. And so they used a smaller hinge that will close shut, and so it's going to make the form factor of the device feel a lot more even when it comes to the weight distribution. And so when it comes to hold it in one hand, you won't have to worry about it feeling like a brick when you're picking it up. It's going to feel a lot lighter than the last year and the one prior to that. And so I could definitely say that Samsung has kept a really nice solid design on here when it comes to the overall build. As far as the images, when it comes to the zoom or just the wide angle or anything like that, the front facing camera, I was noticing a lot of detail and good lighting with the wide angle camera and zooming up close. I was getting some really good night photography as well. The camera was able to bring in a little bit more light. So when it came to night photography, I noticed that it brought in a lot more light. And so you could take a photo in an area where it was pitch black and get a lighter image from, last year's model or the one before that. And so, it was a good camera, mechanism that they used. The, lenses are definitely going to bring in more light, which is going to allow more detail. It still has that same form factor that I really love because I like swipe texting, and I also just, I could do the regular texting on the cover display. But when I want to get a wider display, I can open it up and, get a different experience. But hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. Just type down below in the comments, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people. Follow me on social media, and I'll get right back with you. I'll check you guys in the next video. Later, bro. Peace.